all, welcome back. And if you're just joining us, this is Breakfast Daily. So we're about to have an interesting conversation with two beautiful ladies. And let me just introduce them. Poetra Asantewa, founder and director of Black Girls Glow, and Esinu Aja, programs coordinator of Black Girls Glow. And we are going to be talking about You Are Cared For. You are welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having us.
Fine, thank
It's a beautiful morning.
Right.
Glad to be here.
Poetra, I've been following you. I've been following your journey, and it's been exciting.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
what is You Are Cared For?
So You Are Cared For is an audiovisual initiative by Black Girls Glow. And let me just talk a little bit about Black Girls Glow. So Black Girls Glow is a non-profit arts organization, and we bring visibility to women issues, and we explore how art can be used to solve these issues. And one of these issues is sexual health education.
Right.
We all know sexual health. There isn't a comprehensive sexual health education in Ghana. So You Are Cared For is an initiative that we hope can be adopted on a national scale,
Right.
and that is addressing sexual health education.
And how has this been so far, especially knowing the kind of society that we are in? Some topics are really hush-hush and always covered. We're not supposed to talk about something, sex and all that. How has it been so far, trying to push out this?
Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. We started working on this 2 years ago, so it's been a journey. And the process of creating the material was a learning experience for all of us. And the process of filming the material was a learning experience for us. And I have to say a very big thank you to Citi TV, because Citi TV gave us the studios for free to be able to shoot this.
Right.
And then we also went into the field with these material. And I think that was the point where we realized how important the work we were doing, to actually take the material to the classrooms
Right.
and see the children react to it. Children not knowing what
Yeah.
their private parts are called, having different names for it. And so it's been very affirming to be able to do this work and to be able to take it into the field.
Right.
Isidu, what was for you? I mean, okay, so there's the part where we're doing the conceptualization, ideation, this is what we want to do, everything else. Then you go into the field and you start to see things practically. For you, what was the aha moment that you said, this is like, my goodness, this we should have started this thing years ago?
Okay, so thank you for having us once again. And so for me, let me just start with the fact that I don't know if you know, vagina can be called manhole.
Really?
Yes, that's what
Are
we
you
discovered.
serious?
Yeah.
So that's what we discovered.
Chris, you
So-
knew this? It's-
And so
Okay.
on the field, it's just so sad to know that most of these teenagers do not know vagina. What they know is manhole. They don't know penis. What they know is P. Colombo.
wow.
Yes. And so it was just so nice to know that these are things that teenagers know, and that's what they believe. And they are so confident that this is what it is called. And so when we went to the field and then trying to let them know what vagina is called, you have many saying vanilla instead of vagina. That is how bad it is. And so for me, I really know and believe that this initiative should come. It has come and it's coming to stay. And I pray that we get the support we need, that we can push this further. And so
Right.
it will really be helpful.
All right, so earlier on, even before we started the show, we knew you were going to come, obviously. And then we had some reactions of, oh, are you going to say vagina on TV? Are you going to say penis on TV? You know, so how was the reaction for the adults, you know, when you were teaching the students that?
The adults were quite receptive, surprisingly. I think one of the things that we were very worried about was that we're going to get pushback. But in the schools, the teachers are very supportive. In fact, we wouldn't have been able to do this without the teachers' support. We went into some places where we couldn't even, English wasn't enough. We needed to know the local languages. And I remember going to the Volta region, and Isinu had to talk in Ewe, etc., to make sure that they really understood. So the adults were quite receptive. I think the adults who the pillars in the community are very receptive. The work that we have to do is to encourage more parents to be on board so that they are also involved in the process of teaching.
Right.
At the end of the day, describe success for me in terms of this project. What would you say, this has been successful?
Success is being able to push this throughout the entire country. And I know that's very easily said, but just being able to travel to the Volta region was a very big challenge. And so success is to be able to get these materials into every single corner of the country. Success will, not just that, but to get teachers on board, the government on board, people in the community, from parents to grandparents to sisters to brothers to aunties, everybody involved. It's not something that's just one person's job. It's all of us, our job. And so success for me will be to get everybody involved. And yeah, to be able to see this long term, to be able to see this as part of our culture. Really teaching, sex ed is not grooming kids, it's protecting them. And so that for me is success.
I think that's probably one of the most difficult advocacies, you know, where people believe that if you're teaching the children what they already know and has been warped information, you are grooming them for some kind of agenda or something. I think it's very disturbing. But you have there's a little video that we have for some of the things that Poetry and Isilu have been working on. Let's take a look at this promo video. We'll come back and then we'll delve further into some conversations. This is a very important segment that we're having.
Your legs, your chest, your penis and your vagina, it be your body. Below your head you have your chest, your nipples on your breast, and to the side your elbows help your arms and hands connect. Let's talk about consent. Let's talk about access. Let's talk about my body and who can touch me, right? My body and who can touch me. Now not just yes. Consent is a happy yes. Consent is a big yes. Consent is a continuing yes. It's not just yes.
I love it. I love it so much. I love it. And I really can't wait to see what you guys have for us. But then, I mean, putting out this, how did you feel coming up with this concept? Because I've seen this in other places. I've seen this like maybe from the West. Yeah, and I also saw one in Nigeria, and there were little kids singing about consent and their body and all of that. How was it putting out this, and was there a fear of, hey, they might not accept us for this?
So the different approach that we took with this project is sexual health advocacy is not new. We are not the first people to start teaching about consent or about body parts or about boundaries. But we thought that we need to approach it in a much more consumable way, in an artistic and creative way. And one of the ways that we wanted to do this was to use music and art. Music is probably the most consumable product in Accra. Everybody loves music. What if we use music to teach you about consent? What if we use music to teach you about boundaries, about sex, about your body parts? And so for us, that's the difference in our approach. We are using a very artistic, fun way to teach you about that. So the first thing is to one, attract you, whether it's via the melody, whether it's via the visuals. And then once we have your attention, we go deeper.
Right.
So that's the approach that we decided to take.
Okay, so can you tell us more about the event? Like, what do we know about what we need to know about the event?
Yes, so like I said, we've been working on this for 2 years, and finally we are launching it to the public. And what to expect at this event, which is happening on the 30th of May at Silverbird Cinemas, 7:30 p.m., is that we are going to show you the work that we've been doing. So we are starting from the process of creating the work, of writing, of songwriting, of recording, etc. And then we will show you the actual videos that we've worked on. There are different videos. What we did was that we took the ABCs of sex and then we re-envisioned them in a fun and creative way. And then we'll also show you what happened on tour, what it was like to go into the classrooms, how the students reacted to it, etc. So that's what the launch is going to be about.
So, Esinu, can you tell us where it's going to be, what time, and if we're supposed to get tickets and all of that?
Okay, so it's going to be at the Silverbird Cinemas at Accra Mall, and then it's starting at 7:30 p.m. prompt, and it's going to be on the 30th of May 2023, and we are looking forward to seeing Ghana. Everybody should just come in to support us, because this is really, it's a good show, it's a good project you're coming up with. And trust me, I didn't know vagina was called manhole. And to also...
Me neither.
We have certain exercises that we use to complement the audiovisuals that we have. And it will surprise you to know that we go around asking some of the teenagers to identify some of these things, and they know breast, they don't know nipples. And so we shouldn't assume our teenagers are well informed. And so this initiative is a very good one. And so please, we entreat the fellow Ghanaians to come and help us make this a success.
All right.
And you can get tickets to the event from our online, or you can get it on that day. The tickets are going for 100 CDs, and we'd really appreciate your support.
Of course, it's an expensive thing to come up with something like this. How have you financed this?
Yes, that's a very important question. I think that's one of the reasons why it's taking so long to do this, is that it's been a struggle to get funding. And we've had a few organizations support us, but it's really been a struggle. And we're hoping that's why we are doing this launch event. We're hoping that the proceeds will go back into the project. And we're hoping we can get some short and long-term support from this launch as well.
In the process of creating this, are there any mention-worthy names that you want to put on?
Of course. So one organization that has been very strategic and helpful is Citi TV, Citi FM. And we really couldn't have done it because just being able to pay for studio time per hour is something that we couldn't afford at the beginning. And so it was very instrumental to have that space, have the equipment, everything to do it. Another organization is V is for Voices. That gave us a grant to be able to do the tour, and without them we wouldn't have been able to go into the field to actually test out the work. And so these organizations have been very helpful. Yeah.
The ABCs of sex, what are they?
So one of the things that we did was that we did it in different age groups. So we have from 4 to 11, from 12 to 17, and 18 and above.
Okay.
So for the younger kids, A is for anatomy, you need to learn your body. B is for boundaries, and C is for consent, the kind of consent that you would teach to 4-year-olds. So from 12 to 17, different as well. A is for arousal, B is for breast, and C is also for consent. Consent is an ongoing conversation that we need to...
That's a conversation we need to keep having.
And then the 18 plus, A is for act responsible during sexual relationships. B is for bodies. A lot of adults have a lot of body issues, and it's a topic that we don't talk about. Even we don't know how to negotiate relationships, and so it's very important to have this conversation. And C is for clitoris, and so these are the things that we've done.
I like how you say it freely.
Let's not this P. Colombo business.
Exactly. What is manhole?
They actually have
what is
names.
manhole?
They
What
actually
is
have
P. Colombo?
names.
Exactly.
Like we should call it by their name.
Another thing we realized is when we went to the Volta region, when you talk to the teenagers, they are so confident to say Ava. They are so confident to say Voku, but they don't know the English. And so I really think that this project will go very long. It will go a long way. So we need the support.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for.
I am excited. I like what's happening, and I can't wait to see where this is going to go.
Right. And okay. Thank you once more. And guys, please support them. It's happening at the Silverbird Cinemas on Tuesday, the 30th May 2023 at 7:30.